infinite creator, you are capable and competent already. But you might be at a stage where expansion is starting to feel like a threat. And if that's the case, then you're going to want to listen to these pillars that I'm laying out for making sure that doesn't happen. You are at capacity, which means that's different from capability. Capacity is your internal holding power. Capability is external performance. They're two different things. And many of the people I work with are capable beyond what they think they are, and they doubt that capability because they keep hitting this wall. But it's not a capability issue. It's not about performance. They already know how to do what they need to do. They don't need more tools. They don't need more skills. They don't need another course. They don't need more learning. A lot of creatives and change makers that I work with have hit full tilt on their capacity. That's the ability to hold their next level of success with what they already know how to do. And it's natural to want to build that up to the next level. But if you are hitting the edge of your current identity, you simply can't do that. It becomes really uncomfortable, really, really uncomfortable. So if you're new to this channel, hello, my name is Kathryn 𝐒𝐿, and I am a spiritual mentor. I am a soul-led coach, and I have been a master intuitive energy healer and someone who wears a lot of hats in the spiritual marketplace for the last 25 years. And I created this channel so that infinite creators, visionary, innovators, mavericks like yourself who want to leave the world a better place than they found it can have the tools to up-level, to stabilize into a greater identity capacity so they can do the great work they're here to do without limits. So let's get into it. Stabilizing an identity shift. It has structure because, to be quite frank, your identity, your entire self-concept is a structure. It is structured by the beliefs you hold, the meanings you've given to your experiences over a lifetime. Your perception and your entire lens of the world is through your current identity. Without that, you have no way of looking at the world. There's no lens, there's no filter without that identity. But that identity is malleable. It can change. It has changed throughout our lives. You know, just as our beliefs have changed without our lives, and they're destined to change again, when the swath, the large scope, the colossal scope of what your identity is, which is basically one sweeping generalization built of a lot of internal structures, beliefs, inherent ideas, adopted thought patterns and paradigms, the structures you adhere to politically, societally, religiously, culturally. It forms one big sweeping generalization of how you view the world, how you view yourself. And there is no you outside of that identity. But you can change it. It's elastic. It's changeable. And you can shift it. And what I do is help people feel safe to hold more of who they truly are. And so if you're going to try to understand some of these pillars, let's break it down to a couple things. You know, there's a lot of identity shifting teachings out there that talk about things like one at a time, like, oh, well, it's just your nervous system. And once you change that, you can change your whole identity. That's part of it. Or, you know, it's about having a bulletproof mindset. And once you get that locked in, yeah, okay, it is some of that. No, it's strategy, it's productivity and output. Not really. No, it's spirituality. All is one. And believe me, I teach from this perspective. And that understanding that you are one with all of this, even the resistance you're feeling to up-leveling, that resistance is you, because it's all you. And you are the baseline You are the cause. You are at cause of your entire experience. There are no cause and effects in a universe that is a oneness model, which is basically all is one, all is now. Cause and effect doesn't make much sense in that understanding of the cosmic model. So the spirituality approach is great, and you see a lot of teachers who are talking about Neville Goddard and manifestation teachers of that ilk, and that you just imagine that you're that, and you become delusional, and you're in that identity, and it's done. It's all you, except for one thing. You have resistance to that on some level. We all have limits, upper limits of accepting a next level threshold, receiving at a next level threshold. We have an operating system that is comprised of limiting beliefs. Any belief, by definition, is limiting, because a belief locks you into a certain way of framing the world where you can't really see outside of it because you're focused on the belief. And the belief entrains you to a certain level of reality that gets mirrored in what you would call outside circumstances. So identity shifting, when we try to go after it, it's just mindset, it's somatics, it's strategy, it's spirituality, that kind of one at a time approach doesn't really help. What does help is understanding that it's all of that. That it is the nervous system calibration, that it is, productivity and output and strategy, that it is mindset, that it is spiritual, or the universal approach of looking at it. But doing it one at a time is troublesome. It takes forever. It's frustrating. So if you embrace an approach to identity shifting that works at the layer underneath all the above, you recalibrate identity capacity. So your nervous system, your choices, your values, and vision stop being in conflict. And it hits on this one really important part, that last statement that I just mentioned. When you reorganize the identity around your values, then that's the orbit your nervous system is structured around, that your strategy is structured around, your vision is structured around those values, your mindset is structured around that. This gives a next limit, a next prosperity threshold, a place to land safely. And without bracing or over-managing or abandoning yourself. It's what allows you to have more responsibility as a natural progression instead of feeling like it's a weight around your neck. It's what allows you to be more visible. So understanding that building an identity shift as an orbit around your values is, well, number one, it's really simple, but it incorporates all those other pieces into it simultaneously without having to look at them one at a time. And when you organize your life, your identity shift, your personal experience, your professional experience around your values, this is where high-performing people, high-functioning people who are previously coping, they have a new embodied capacity. And it really allows them to take flight and rise and expand their vision, and doing it all from a place where they feel safe. So when I approach this in my client work, I'm looking at 5 things primarily. I'm looking at safety, which is, it's like your nervous system isn't broken. You're not broken. You are hitting the edge of your current identity, and it's going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to feel like you're blocked. You're going to feel like you're stuck. You're going to feel like nothing's working, and why can't I just handle doing more? It's your nervous system at this current identity calibration protecting this outdated identity. It's the old identity that needs to go. And so when you recognize how many coping strategies you're adopting every day to reinforce a smaller baseline identity of you, not only is it energy, fuel for growth that's being misspent, but it's a constant fight, flight, or freeze effect in your life. And it feels like an endless rabbit hole or downward spiral. It doesn't have to. You just have to understand that you have a survival identity that you've been loyal to. And you might call it nervous system dysregulation. Your nervous system is never dysregulated. Everyone's nervous systems work perfectly. What your nervous system is giving you is direct biofeedback that you are at your current identity limit. Another thing that I help people understand is the values. The value part is really, really important, because the clarity piece was just the second part of this, is understanding that what your values are, they generate the orbit for your experience. So you can break your values down to each, let's just say, goal or achievement that you'd like, because you might have a different set of values and a different hierarchy, meaning a different, top to bottom priority of values for different areas of your life. You might have certain values that rank differently or look different for your health than you would for your career, for instance, or your relationships, or your wealth, your money, your finances. So if you're talking specifically, I'll talk specifically about my values for my business. There are 5, and they're ranked from freedom at the top, to joy, to success, to authenticity, and then generosity. And they're creating the orbit for my life experience, but also my business. And that I have a little deal with a part of myself that would previously resist up-leveling or growth or expansion, that also shares these values, because every resistant part of you has a value system too. And it's trying to help you, believe it or not. But having clarity is about understanding that those values, they're the baseline of how you want to operate. And if you are loyal to those values and use them as your North Star, or what your entire experience orbits around, then it's very easy to know when you're out of alignment. You also feel miserable. You also feel like you're doing things you don't want to do. Maybe it'll look like professionally, you're doing something for money that you really, really don't want to do, because it probably doesn't align with one of your core values. And so when we have clarity around that, not only are the values easier and easier to be loyal to when we know what those values are, but it's easier to know when you're out of alignment and why you're out of alignment, because it's directly opposing one of your values. And we can shift that. And when we're really loyal to those values, the perk is that the right opportunities, the right people, the right situations show up because of our adherence to what we truly value, because that's the baseline of who we are in our true essence. Essentially, those values aren't something we just decided are important one day. They're part of our original programming that we came into this existence with. It's what I call our prime identity. And that identity was perfect, pristine, God vibration. You came in with that operating system, and those values were inherent to that operating system. So operating from those values in your everyday life is like operating from your prime identity, literally the place of least resistance to operate from. So the third part is establishing self-trust as another pillar of establishing a stabilized identity that aligns with everything you want. Self-trust is about understanding that, as I mentioned just a minute ago, the resistance that you might be feeling as like pushback. You want to move ahead. You want to achieve a certain goal. You want to have, be, or do a certain thing. And it just feels like, why can't I have this already? I'm doing all the right things. I feel stuck. Nothing's happening. I'm not seeing any movement here. There is some resistant piece within you, some avoidant part. And it's not something that's trying to hurt you, and it is not something that is separate from you. We'll try to fix all the things in the outer reality, but that won't solve the problem of inner resistance. It never does. And when you understand that that resistance has intelligence, it's you. It's a part of you that's trying to protect you and keep you safe, albeit kind of clumsily and awkwardly, but it has values too. It's trying to serve a purpose through being resistant. And that resistance usually is, it's trying to keep you safe from doing something that you said you didn't want to experience ever again. But when you talk to it and dialogue with it, you realize it has values, usually the same that you do, or you can find one or two where you have a meeting of the energy, so to speak, and you can come together as a singular force towards now a goal that you want to create. You get that resistant piece on board. Most people just try to push past this resistance through willpower, using discipline. Kicking fear in the ass was one of the things that my client said the other day. That all works until it doesn't. And then what do? Well, you stay in that loop. You stay in that repeat cycle. So your resistance is intelligent and serves a purpose. When you're able to dialogue and work with this resistant part, you build self-trust because you feel whole. Because you're reintegrating that part back into your wholeness. Now you're working together with this resistant part of you with a renewed role. You get to literally reassign its role from resistance to help in getting you more of what you want. And it's a beautiful process of reintegration, of renewal, and a feeling of wholeness. That helps to stabilize the identity you want to build that's aligned with your ideal life and vision. The fourth part is capacity. So every single one of us is naturally built for more wealth, more peace, more joy, more freedom. Every single one of us. If we didn't have awareness of it, we wouldn't already have it. In other words, you can't have awareness of something that doesn't exist, and everything that exists is you. And if you have awareness of something, it exists as you. So if you have some idea of wealth, peace, joy, freedom, how is that not you? So we're naturally built for more and more of it. We are built for expansion. It's only an illusion that we can be stagnant or stuck. We just repeat patterns creatively and with maybe, a little bit of a new nuance to the same old story. But we're always growing, we're always expanding. Sometimes we hit old experiences on the spiral of our life, but we'll always hit those experiences never as the same person we were before, but from the pinnacle of expansion. We're always looking at life from a higher perspective, from all the wisdom and accrued hindsight, insight, and experience of living life. So you're never revisiting a theme in your life, even if it feels like it's repeat on the same way, or in the same way, or as the same you. So there's built in to that operating system is the prime identity and infinite capacity for growth. It just becomes an illusion that we're hitting an edge of something, because there is no edge of anything. From a metaphysical standpoint, from a quantum view, there are no edges. Everything is one. But from a very human experience, it can feel like we're repeating something, we're hitting an edge, we're hitting a block, we're reaching a, insurmountable obstacle. That's never the case, even if it feels like it. You have the capacity for growth. And when we increase that capacity, yes, we do it on a somatic level, but we also do it with bringing in other resistant parts of self. So we have that feeling of wholeness, because when we have that feeling of wholeness, we increase our capacity to expand every single time. And that's coming directly from reintegrating a part of self that is in resistance. And then the fifth part is sovereignty. The sovereignty part is where everything else comes together and you realize, I already am whole. I am already well resourced. I am the prime identity. I just piled a bunch of stuff I didn't need on top of it. And I am the source of all the safety I want to experience, all the stability I want to experience, all the prosperity I want to experience. I am the source. I am never not the source. when you source safety internally, not because circumstances or conditions are favorable, because what happens when circumstances and outer conditions are not favorable? Where does your safety come from? It must always be you. That's sovereignty. That's being self-sourced. That's having inner and outer congruence. It's not coping. So when I share this in private client work, it's a fairly involved process, as you can see, but it builds. It builds on and overlaps into these 5 pillars and categories that I named here and explained. And I had a lot of clients who have asked me, you know, is there going to be a group experience where we could do this? Because they love going through this so much. And yes, one-to-one work with me is not something everyone has the financial ability to do. And so for some of the people who have experienced this with me and wanted a group experience so they could have something they could go back to again and again and again, because what I share is a repeatable process. So you can use it for any goal. You can use it for any time you feel like you're hitting the edges of your current capacity. In other words, your current identity feels like it can't hold your expansion anymore. You can use this every time. And so I decided to teach this and share it with some soul-led mentors, spiritual entrepreneurs, energy healers who want to use this as a process. And it's going to be this masterclass series that I'm going to be sharing in March 2nd, 4th, 6th, 9th, and 11th of 2026. And I'm limiting the amount of spaces because this prime identity shifting and stabilizing that, it does require some vulnerability. It requires a good deal of honesty. It requires intimacy. And because this is a level of depth for all of our members, it requires intimacy. So we only have it for 12 women only. And we are going to have a group message thread on Facebook Messenger where we can share for the length of this identity shifting masterclass series. And you'll have replays. And it's only open to 12 women only. So if you're interested, I'm going to have more of a description in the link of this video. But share with me in the comments any one of these things that really resonates for you the most, because you know this is for you if you're experiencing one of these 6 things. And I want to know which of these 6 stands out for you the most right now. So if you can leave it in the comments for me, not only is that great feedback for me, but sometimes it really helps to say this stuff out loud and just admit it to yourself. Like, yep, this is where I'm at. I can accept that. What am I going to do with it now? And this masterclass series, this is for action takers. This is, you know, when you understand that you're overwhelmed because the identity you're operating from was built for a smaller life. And your vision and what you want to do, what you want to create is bigger. So, I mean, you can bulletproof your mindset all you want and try to, you know, push through and force your way past fear. That only works until it doesn't. Throw a bunch of willpower and discipline at that issue, which only works until it doesn't. You know, regulate your nervous system with your breath work and your tuning forks. And believe me, I love all this stuff. I do this stuff. But yet you might be feeling that what happens when I stop doing this stuff? And if I don't regulate myself this way, what's going to happen? Well, that's not living, my love. That's fear. That's surviving. And it's also lying to yourself if you feel like you can keep that up. Because burnout is imminent if you don't take care of and give yourself the capacity to expand safely, to hold expansion safely. Because you know there's so much more for you to share, so much more for you to offer, so much more for you to receive. You've got to give yourself permission to have it. You've got to give yourself a place to have your expansion land safely. So here's the 6 things. You tell me in the comments which one resonates for you the most. Number 1, expansion is something you say you want, but it feels like you're pushing it away at the same time. Number 2, Success feels like something you have to manage. Like you have to be hyper vigilant about, scan for risks or threats all the time. So it feels like you're something that you're managing instead of enjoying. Number 3, rest feels like you have to earn it, or it feels like a reward. It's not natural. And when you do rest, you've got this constant voice, this niggling feeling that I better be doing something or I'm going to lose money. I'm leaving money on the table by resting. Okay. Number 4, your body feels like you're dragging it across the finish line all the time. You complete a task, you fulfilled some part of your vision, and you want to celebrate, but you're actually so exhausted by the time you get to the finish line of your vision. Let me know if that's you. Number 5, you think you're broken. Why can't I handle this? You think you're behind. Okay, let me know if that's you in the comments. And number 6, you know you're naturally built for more, but you've reached the edge of the identity your nervous system knows how to stabilize. And you're at capacity. So let me know which one of those resonates the most. Maybe it's a couple of them. And then if this video resonated for you, please hit the like button, and that lets me know that it resonated for you, even if you don't comment, although I really would like it if you would. And subscribe to this channel if you're enjoying this content and this kind of information is helping you, because it's not just information. What I'm handing you here is gold. It's transformation if you're willing to use it. And so Sovereign and Self-Sourced is this upcoming masterclass for soul-led women entrepreneurs. You're working at a high level of capability, but you've reached your capacity to hold expansion. Even though you're holding space somewhere, even if you can't access it yet, for more, then this is for you. And especially if you answered to any one of these 6 tells that you've hit your capacity, that this is for you. So the investment is also written in the description of the link, and you'll have access to these replays as long as you like, so you get to use them over and over and over again. And if you want this, all you have to do is reply Sovereign in the comments, and I will make sure to reach out to you ASAP, and we'll get you in here. So thank you so much for listening. Subscribe to this channel if you love this content. It lets YouTube know that you are enjoying what I'm sharing, and it spreads the love to other people on this search engine. And thanks so much for listening. Many blessings, and bye for now.